it's Sarah, and today I will be doing a review video for you guys. I'm going to be reviewing the Theft of Swords Bind Up by Michael J. Sullivan. This is a fantasy novel, a fantasy swords and sorcery novel, and it was really great, and I can't wait to get into my thoughts about it. Basically, there's two books in this bind up, and I don't really want to go into both books because they follow the same set of characters. They extend the plot from the first book to the second book, and a lot of it is, you know, together and the like. So I don't really want to touch the second book, which is called Avampartha. I'm going to be reviewing mostly the first book, which is called Crown Conspiracies, and I will be talking about my thoughts about that book and in general the two books that I have read so far in this series called the Raya Revelation series. So let's jump into that and then we can go from there. Crown Conspiracies is about these two guys, Royce and Hadrian, are very notorious thieves. A lot of people know the name Raya, and Raya thieves are a big deal, and a lot of people have heard other people talk about it, talk about them, that type of thing, and they are both very opposite guys. Royce is more of your dark, you know, self-serving character, and Hadrian is more of the idealistic, you know, selfless character, and he kind of takes things on a case-to-case basis, and he helps people who he feels like he should help, and so they mesh very well together, and they play off each other's attributes very easily, and overall I think that was the main driving force for this novel for me, was the relationship between Hadrian and Royce. Also, the world is really awesome too, but I'll get into that. And so yeah, this is kind of about that, and Crown Conspiracies is about them retrieving a really famous sword out of the kingdom, and it's very, very risky. It's a really risky job, and that's kind of where the story starts out. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the world. The world is very classical. It's written in a very I want to say it gives off that really funny but really serious vibe. It kind of reminds me of Count of Monte Cristo or The Princess Bride, in the way where it's so like hilarious, and like the things that go on are really just funny and just crazy, but at the same time this book, where those movies might not hold a serious note, this book does. It does have very serious moments, and it also has very scary moments for the characters, where I feel like in The Princess Bride and you know, other movies like that, the characters have to you know, go through these things, but you always know they're gonna make it. For this one, there's a little bit more suspense and things like that, but it is very tropey. It's very, you know, just one of those books that I just adored picking up because it was fun. I wouldn't read it thinking it's gonna be the next Way of Kings or anything like that, but it's just a super fun novel that you can just go in and read and just enjoy yourself. So I really loved the world in this. Very clear, very nice, and you know, atmospherical in the way that I felt like I was in the world and I was with the characters and those types of things. So very easily to get into, very great storyline and the like. Writing style is playing off of that. I love the way Michael J. Sullivan writes. Like I said, it's very comical but at the same time very serious, and I feel like that's really unique when it comes to most fantasy writers, because I feel like I'm usually reading a very serious novel whenever I'm reading fantasy, or if I'm reading a funny novel, it's not really as developed as this story was. It does have its faults and stuff like that, but overall it was written really well, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think the writing is just comical, and I will be definitely reading more of Michael J. Sullivan's books because I enjoy the way he writes. It's so easy to get into. The characters in this story are really great. We meet a slew of characters in the first book, and Hadrian and Royce being the main focus, but then we also get POVs from many different characters, and a lot of it is about Hadrian and Royce, so you don't really get full character development from each other. It's not like they're telling each other, you know, telling us what each other does or anything like that. It's more of like outside forces coming in and like, you know, commenting on the whole play between them. Is a very interesting way, in my opinion, to give us character development, because it's very different than most of books that I've read recently. And yeah, Hadrian and Royce are the main characters, and then we get to meet a prince, and we get to meet a wizard, and we get to meet a dwarf, and we get to meet a princess, and we get to meet a bad guy, and overall, it was just a very fun novel. It was just very, you know, easy to read when I would pick up in just, you know, a lazy Sunday or something like that. Though Sundays aren't really that lazy for me, but I would definitely pick up the this book in those types of instances. So overall, I gave this book a 4.5 stars. I think the main thing is it was really tropey. I enjoyed that while reading it, but I don't think I could give it 5 stars because of it. So I really did enjoy it. I actually put this bind up on my favorites, even though I gave both books a 4.5 stars, because I just loved it so much, and I think that the story in general I'm going to endure going into the next books. I feel like they're going to get way more serious and a lot less comical, which I'm really excited to get into, and I just think that overall this book was just something I needed at the time and something to help me just refresh my palate a little bit and have some fun while reading, and that was really great, and yeah, I really liked it. I will say that I know this looks like a long book. It's 600 pages, but each book in this novel is about 300 pages, so I wouldn't be too terrified to go into it reading, you know, because it looks big, but it really, each story isn't, and it's really fast paced, and I read both of these books in like a matter of 3 days, so it was all very quick and fun and fast. So I would just kind of warn you to not let the size scare you too much. And also I wanted to say that I know tropes are a thing that most people dislike, so when going into this, be aware that there are tropes, and be aware that, you know, they're funny, but if it's not something you're in the mood for, then it could definitely hinder your experience, I think. So yep, but other than that, I think that's all I have on this novel. I really recommend you check it out, and I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people would really enjoy this book and the series in general, and I can't wait to read the next book. That is all I have for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below what you guys think of this book, if you've read it, if you haven't read it, if you plan on reading it. Let me know down below. I'd love to discuss it with you. And that is all I have. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!